Hello everyone, and welcome to C-View Quantum Network. I'm your presenter Daniel, and I'm here with producer Claudia Pareco. Our opening song features Sunset Serenade by Cyclone. Albums and singles are available in all music stores and platforms. A moment of your time is one of the most extraordinary gifts we could ever be given. Each week, we create a place for you to rest your heart by providing the platform for peaceable connection to the most gifted lightworkers, intuitives, alternative healers who will surprise you with something different, something outside of what's expected, innovative and unique. Our shows are held on Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern U.S. time and 9 a.m. Pacific time. At any moment to participate on our shows, please call 805-830-8344 and press 1 to talk with the host. Take My Call. At any moment before or during the show, you can opt for Take My Call and jump the long line of callers. We are now following the pay what you can business model. You pay what you feel our services are worth to you. You can send a payment using paypal.me/PURECO and add the amount that you want. To request a show, please write to Claudia Pareco at cview1111@gmail.com or visit our website, cview1111.net. Now, close your eyes and get in touch with the present, the only reality. Feel your body, feel your breath, and let it drift back to the present moment.
Thank you, Danny. And welcome everybody to C-View. This is your host, Claudia, and we are here with BioField Clearing and DNA Healing Show, Thriving During the Great Shift. And we have Dr. Jane Smolnik, she's going to tell us about all of the new abilities that are available for us now as we transform together into the new reality. So, are you ready to become more, to expand your innate abilities? Part of the topics that we are covering in this podcast are becoming 5D beings, deepening intuition, connect with your guides, learn sacred geometry to heal, and transcend innate abilities. So also, all of these topics have become or are becoming webinars. And you can be part of these webinars at your convenience. Each individual topic is available for you for only $39. And you can contact directly Jane so you can be part of that. You can go to awakenmywisdom.com, but if you don't know, if you know Jane and you have seen her on C-View for many, many, many years, you know how much she brings. She's a naturopathic doctor, iridologist, kinesiologist, and quantum energy healer with more than 36 years experience. She is the developer and teacher of the BioField clearing techniques, utilizing ancient Egyptian healing tools and techniques with the help of her guides. Her true passion is helping people heal on deeper levels. At one point, she understood that just healing the outside was not enough. But let's bring Jane so she can tell us more about this 5D reality, all of these innate abilities that we are having access and that we can bring now to our lives, and how to do it. Hey Jane, welcome to C-View.
Well, hello, Claudia. Thank you so much for having me back again. I love doing this show. It's really fun.
It is really fun.
So the last one we did just a few weeks ago was really talking about living in 5D, and I want to just kind of build on it a little bit because it's really, to me, and to many, I guess, it's the most interesting time we can possibly imagine to be here on planet Earth right now. We are going through such a major evolutionary shift for all of humanity. Just really going from those denser, third-dimensional, limited reality to the fifth is a more spiritual and energetic and expanded state of being. So it's really quite extraordinary. But to really go from third, we go through the fourth, which is more of the emotional realm. And there's lower emotions that bring us down, of course, fear, doubt, worry, and stuff. But then there's the higher emotions, too. So, our appreciation and love and compassion. But really to be in fifth dimension, and which many of us do many times, but sometimes we only stay there for short periods of time. But we really need to develop our intuition, expand our awareness, and really develop deep trust. To me, one of the things I kept noticing in my practice for a very long time, it's not just about what do you need to do to support the physical body. That's definitely part of it. But what do we need to heal on a deeper soul level? And what I've noticed is the one core thing that we all have collectively is we have to develop the virtue of trust on a soul level, deep trust, which means like how deeply can we trust ourselves? Do we trust the people closest to us? Do we trust our intuition? Do we trust nature? Do we trust God? Do we trust, it just goes on. So we really have to be able to trust what we're feeling, what our gut instincts are, our intuitive senses are, and to really understand that we all, every single one of us, has an innate intelligence system built in. And it's time to really activate it. Some are being activated, some are building, some are growing, and some still need to kind of work on that awakening piece. So to really expand your energy field, it's important to start to trust your inner knowledge. So the more you do that, the more you can trust. What are your insights? What are the messages you're getting? What are the feelings that you're having? The more you start to empower yourself. And it's really hugely important. So the more you do that, the more you own pieces of yourself that have kind of been fragmented away. The more you reclaim who you truly are. I know one thing that I heard that was just brilliant recently. Alex Collier, who I just love following, he's an Andromedan contactee. And one of the things he says is, when you have all these millions of people, when you don't know who you truly are, you're easily manipulated, controlled, and so forth. But when you have billions of people waking up on this planet who really get and know who we truly are, this unlimited, divine, powerful being that's connected to all that is, we can change anything. We can create anything. We can manifest anything. So that's really important. So the more inner knowledge that you'll be acquiring just through your absolute knowingness, of whether it's something someone said and you just know it feels right, or a place you want to go and it feels right, or something you want to do, people that you resonate with, you just know, But it's also like a remembering. Have you ever noticed that? I've noticed that a number of times for myself. It's like, oh, I'm really drawn to something and I want to learn this or I want to do this. And then I do it and I feel like, oh, I already knew how to do this. I just needed to be reminded, So mainly because our third strand of DNA has been turned off. We now only have 2 strands of DNA. And the third dimensional realm that we live in on planet Earth here is a very limited state of being. It's a very limited realm, So think about the fact that our fears, doubts, traumas, limiting beliefs, everything we've been told by society, by our ancestors, by our media, by our education system, religious organizations and so forth, are basically all narratives and stories. But what if that's not the truth of who we truly are, So your third strand of DNA can actually be reactivated, and that's kind of what's happening. And it may come in stages. Everyone's different. And we have to learn to use our own intention, right? So, and expand our awareness, expand our consciousness. Our abilities are so unlimited. You know, we really don't have a clue. If we're just walking around kind of in third-dimensional reality and we have to take care of business and family and eating and cleaning and cooking and all kinds of stuff, but we need to take more time to go within and really get clear with who we are. We need to also retrain the way we see things to not limit our own consciousness. That's a really big key here. We really have to retrain the way we see things. So we've done this before, and we've been in fifth dimension before. Do you know all other, planets and star cultures have been fifth dimensional and above? I'll explain that in a little bit. But here on planet Earth, we've been cloaked in a limitation of third dimensional reality. So, but we can now, we're kind of breaking free from this, eliminating this kind of self-imposed prison in a sense. And to be truly free, we're so free with our conscious awareness that nobody can control us. We have unlimited potential. And it's really quite an exciting thing to go through. We've been through evolutionary kind of extinction events many times on this planet. This planet is like billions and billions of years old, or hundreds of billions of years old. We tend to look at the very recent history. Even just a couple of thousand years is minute. Even 10,000 years is minute, if you think about that. But one thing we have to understand is our genes are not fixed. They're not just fixed set items. You're not a victim and never have been. We've all made contracts and agreements on a soul level to experience certain things when we come down here into our life so that we can learn, evolve, heal. There's really no mistakes. There's only experiences. So the trick is we need to look at something neutrally. When we look at something and we go, oh my God, that was bad, that was horrible, I can't believe that, we have a judgment on it. The minute you put a judgment on something, it's like you attach your emotions to it like glue. I've said this many times. And then we're more in a reactive mode, not in a deliberate mode. But if you can become totally neutral without judgment or blame, part of it is learning to extrapolate what's good here. What's the good that this is trying to show me? How can my soul evolve and learn from this? And once you get that, and even if you've made a mistake or a challenge in your life, once you get that and you just recognize that, oh, there's no need for blame or judgment. I just need to take responsibility and say, yep, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. But now I understand it, I learn from it, and I'm reconnecting with my higher self, and you move forward, So genes can actually be overwritten, erased, turned off, dissolved, and new ones developed, So they are quantum. Entirely new ones can be created all the time. Our genes also respond to outside stimuli, as well as even responding to our own thoughts, perceptions, our consciousness, our frequency, our awareness. Your genes are constantly listening to you. So when we're being negative or limited, like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot sometimes, or I can't believe, I don't do this well, or that doesn't work for me, our genes are listening to us, and you're limiting yourself. But when you say, I have this belief, it's really kind of funny, I joke about it, that I can do anything, And it's sometimes true because I have that innate belief. So if something seems like a challenge to someone, and I might say, well, here, let me try. And it's like, because I can just do it. It's just been a part of what I've worked with, in a sense. We never create a limiting belief for ourselves. It's usually something that we've been taught, we've been told, we inherited, maybe from our family line, maybe from our society or our schools, But on a soul level, we would never create a limiting belief for ourselves, only empowering beliefs. So if you think about like epigenetics, everything that's outside of you, including your mind, your perceptions, all these things alter your body on an energetic level, And genes are considered like shadow perceptions. They're energy patterns. When we use focused attention, consciousness, and shift our frequency to a higher function, these are higher brain functions. We actually only use a small percentage of our brain, and it's now expanding to be able to utilize so much more. Every single one of us can use things like telepathy, clairsentience, clairvoyance, knowing, seeing, feeling, and intuition right now. And you've probably all done it, but we need to be reminded, we need to remember how easy it is to do it. So humans have actually been kind of tampered with genetically over many, many years. Our psychic abilities actually come from our energetic body, not our physical body. So as you know, we all have a physical body, but we're much more than that. We have an energy body. We have a mental body. We have an emotional body, and we have a spiritual body. So one thing that I like to start with is, and this is something that everybody can do right now, is start by scanning and observing each one of your body systems to be more aware of what's going on with you. So as an example, take a moment right now, and you can close your eyes if you want to, and just scan your physical body. Just observe it, sense it. What is it needing? How is it feeling? Is it trying to get your attention in any way? Does it feel painful or sluggish? Does it feel energized? So just scan it. And now take a moment to scan your energy body. How does your energy feel? Think of it kind of like a battery charge. Do you feel kind of low in energy? Do you feel pretty ramped up and charged? Do you feel kind of like, I'm just good? Like feel and sense, how does your energy feel right now? And then really look at your emotional body. Scan and observe your emotional body. Take a look at it. What emotions are you noticing or feeling right now? Anything particular? Pay attention to your mental body. What are the thoughts coming into your mental body? Observe it. Look at it. We're looking at these things actually from our higher self point of view. See? And then even taking a look at your soul, your spiritual body. They're actually two different things, but how does your soul feel right now? Does it feel content? Does it feel pleased? Does it feel confused? Just think about that. And your spirit self is actually your absolute self that never changes. That's your divine connection to an unlimited source in every way possible. You have all the love, wisdom, and joy and infinite possibilities of this divine universe that we've been created from, right? So the thing that has changed over many years is the fact that, we've been changed a little bit, and there's been really extensive use of some kind of like some mind control, some limited beliefs, some narratives that this is the way life is and this is what you have to do. And, it's like you just keep on going. We're on a little hamster wheel. And it's like we tend to suffer because of those limitations. We struggle with it because that's not who we truly are. We get very frustrated with that. That used to be one of my favorite emotions. I used to get frustrated and say, I have to change this. But every single person is telepathic and intuitive. We just tend to ignore these subtle messages. Or we think, oh, well, that can't possibly be. Or was I just imagining that? But learn to turn on your inner knowing. Right? Get familiar with it. Part of it is it comes from your heart and soul. Feel what your heart feels. It's like, a million times more powerful than just our brain and our ego mind. Your heart will never steer you wrong, so follow your heart. What are you being drawn to? What do you feel kind of repulsed by and want to move away from? Follow those impressions, right? So what's happening now is our bandwidth is going to need an upgrade. If you think about it that way in technology terms, we've had kind of a limited bandwidth, of what we can contain. Think about the internet in a sense. The bandwidth has gone up tremendously because there's so much more available to us around this entire planet, right? So we need to expand our awareness. And the internet is a great kind of metaphor to show us how we can collectively and instantly connect with anyone, anywhere, get any kind of information or connection through our internet. If we just rely on technology, that will be the downfall. That's one of the reasons why Atlantis really fell as well. But we have to, really learn to expand our bandwidth and be aware of our own internet, our innate intelligence. Because what we've been living in, mainly 10% of our brain, is really tiny compared to what we can experience. The more you're in fifth dimensional reality, that spiritual realm of expanded awareness, the faster you will manifest things and the faster you can heal instantly. They say just match the frequency and feel what you want to manifest. Feel it, know it, believe it, and things come much more quickly. The minute we put a doubt on it, oh gosh, I would love to do that, or we have a want, a desire. It's like, oh, I really, really want that. Well, you're creating the want beautifully. What if you could just feel and experience having it, That's just an example. So our lower vibrations, the lower frequencies that we've had have been a source of food, really feeding the dark energies, the lower vibrations, creating more dis-ease and ailments. Think of the fact that, like, negative thoughts, negative feelings, old programming, fears, traumas, addictions, shame and guilt, all those lower vibrations really bring us down, bring our vibration down, our frequency down. And when your vibration and your frequency is lower, you're more prone to diseases. So that's absolutely been proven. Even things like the lower vibrations of, processed artificial foods, toxic substances, bring our vibration down, right? They make us more vulnerable to lower vibrating energies, including lower vibration entities, It makes us more prone to illness and disease. Do you know you can't even get a virus or the flu unless your vibration is lowered to at least maybe 57, 58 megahertz? And you might have heard me say this before. A healthy human body vibrates at 62 to 68 megahertz, which is million pulses per second. So you'd have to actually go down and in order to have something like the flu or even a cold. It's not actually an injection that's going to help you. It's your own frequency. When you go to the higher frequencies, you disempower and disengage from any abusive, lower vibrating frequencies. That's what I'm talking about as far as, really increasing our bandwidth, increasing our frequency. It's almost like if you were to leave a highly abusive relationship, why would you go back? If you're feeling more love and joy and freedom and passion and, energy from a healthier, more expanded state. So right now we're really tasked with this particular time on planet Earth to assist humanity because we've all done this before, right? What's weak or not real will go away. It'll fall away, Anything that's not of the truth, of the highest light and resonance will release. And you're not a victim. You've never been a victim, but you're an authority of your life. You decide, right? So the mission is to go from this limited third dimensional realm up to a fifth dimensional realm and even higher. Sixth dimensional realm is where sacred geometry patterns, where we use sacred geometry. It's in all of nature. We can even use them intentionally with our mind to produce healing in the body. And it can go higher and higher. The seventh is about sound healing frequencies. Eighth is about bringing in more light. Ninth is about using 0-point field. So all these things will help us as we start to discover and utilize how do we become more aware of them, how do we connect with them. So I want to share just a recent channeling I did with my guides. So for many, many years, I've been working with my Pleiadian star family and even the Arcturians. I just love them. These beings are so beautiful. So one of the things I asked, and this was very recently, is how can I best support the awakening and transformation happening now on planet Earth? That was my question. And they said, dear one, this is a time of great value, a time of planetary ascension, so all humans are going through this shift right now. It's exciting yet scary for many. We honor your willingness to be of support and service. Continue to meditate and connect with us daily. Allow us to guide you, support you, to do the work of a light being in physical form. It is so necessary right now. We honor you. It's essential that we stay grounded yet aligned with our higher source or divine source and this magnificent universe. We're all one. We're all connected. We're all in this together. Be like a beacon. You are a light point holding the space. You are connected to a great and powerful divinity, the source energy of all that is, the God self. Be of love, be in compassion, be in peace, be in integrity. Be in the light, be aware and expanding always in all ways. It's a beautiful transformative time, so do not heed to the fears. The fears are only temporary fleets of separation. It does not serve you or anyone else. Keep your vibration high and of the light. Strengthen your resolve, your body, your connection with your higher self, and all the divine beings of light who are happily assisting you. Planet Earth is birthing to a new energy, shedding its shroud of darkness. The 3D heaviness is like breaking open an eggshell, our shell which kept us in darkness while we were incubating, preparing for this metamorphosis. Our cocoon has broken. We are opening to the light. We are all celebrating this new energy and the arrival of so many of our family of light to this galactic federation, the universal energy of magnificent proportion. There's no stopping it. There's no going back to the old ways that had so many shadows and dark sides, so much controlled by darker energies. Even they change, transform, cry, and repent. I thought that was interesting. Great love, compassion, and healing are necessary components. Bring in your God energy. Love, bless, and heal all you encounter. No exceptions and no judgments. There's more to do before we arrive at this great awakening. We need more and more light beings like yourself to hold the space. Anchor in the light, that divine golden light, at all points around the earth. See them connecting, creating a light grid, embracing all humans with love, compassion, and healing. Many will see and feel this energy and be drawn to it. Many will shift, ascend, open, and connect. You are not alone, never alone. We all love you and embrace you. We guide you and support you. Helping others release any and all old darker energies and limitations will help them become lighter and lighter. Assist humanity with your embrace, our embrace. Do not get stuck in petty fears, beliefs, or energies. They do not serve anyone. Maintain the higher energy of 5D awareness and open all your chakras. It's a sacred and powerful, majestic place. We bow to you, honor you, and love you dearly. Thank you for connecting. I thought that was beautiful, so I really wanted to share that with you. I have another one here I could even share, but I really want to point out a couple of things here, too. You know, we are all connected. You know, we've been here many, many times. Let me see, where was it? I really wanted to start saying a few things. So I think every single person knows and has this inside of ourselves, this yearning, this light, this wanting to be connected to our source. You know, you can call it Mother, Father, God, Goddess, Divine Source, Universal Consciousness, whatever you choose to call it. Doesn't quite matter, you know. So it's really a very important time. And I think what I've been hearing and understanding is this time we're succeeding. There's no going back. We're not going to fail at this point. You know, it's to the point where this massive expansion and understanding is happening right now. There are so many people. It's like a giant wave of awakening happening around the planet. And every single person becomes a point of light on this planet, especially when you connect, when you ground yourself, connect with your divine source. So one of the exercises that I teach, and the one I just talked about, was, do an awareness scan of your physical, energy, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. Scan and be aware of the different parts of yourself, in a sense. But another one that I love to teach everybody is to create a vertical power axis, is what I call it. And this is when you connect, just kind of stand. You can also sit, but not have your arms, legs, or feet crossed so the energy flows well. And just expand your awareness all the way up through the crown of your head, all the way up. Just keep expanding your awareness and connect with the great central sun, the divine source, the heart of God, whatever you want to call it. Connect all the way up into this infinitely expansive divine energy and connect with the heart of it. Some call it the great central sun, the heart of the divine source. And bring that energy down, streaming in like a golden light. That's one of the highest vibrations there is. And bring it all the way down in through the crown of your head, down through your central channel and into your heart center, and fill your heart. Connect with your sacred heart, with the heart of the divine. And also have this energy come down through your central channel. It actually goes down through the perineum, not so much the spine, but down and all the way into the heart of Gaia, Mother Earth, all the way down to the crystal core, the heart of the earth. Connect and anchor onto the earth. And bring that energy all the way up to fill your being. And notice that the energy you bring up from the earth, what does it feel like? We have vitality, strength, power, and abundance that comes up from Mother Earth. When you feel into the energy of the divine source, the heart of God, what is the energy you feel that you're bringing in? These are higher states of being. You're bringing in infinite love, wisdom, compassion, and infinite possibilities. And bring that into your heart center. And know that that is how you are connected. You are a point of light. Anchor it into the earth. Fill your heart with it. When we walk around somewhat disconnected, such as our crown chakra's closed, we're not really grounded and rooted into the earth, which is a lot of people, then we're efforting at trying to make things happen in our life all by ourselves. It's like, it's exhausting, right? But when you are connected and you're being loved and guided, as well as grounded and supported and getting the strength you need, that's a whole different place. Things come through you, not from you. It's not exhausting. It's energizing. So that might be something that, to really think about. So I have one more, just a short channeling thing that I also did recently that I want to share. How do we awaken and strengthen the innate intelligence of humanity? How can I be of service to assist this? What is needed? That was my question. The response is, thank you for asking. You want to be of service to be expanded, working with higher dimensions, helping others understand and assist in the light increasing. Thank you. My dear loved one, you are right and wise to connect with us and ask for guidance and support. We are all working toward this magnificent good, in awe as we observe this great time of awakening. The expansion is already in motion. They have been for years, even eons. It was a time of darkness, in a cocoon that is now blossoming into something more beautiful. Nature holds all the clues for you. Be one with this heavenly body, as she is shifting as well. The earth is ascending. Connect more with nature. Feel this magnificent energy. The magnetic grid is getting stronger. It has to neutralize the effects of all your recent technology. Be aware of going inside and grounding, staying aligned, staying open and aware. So much is happening right now. Don't get caught up in the details or the dramas. They are limited perspectives, always. Anchor in the frequencies and the energy in the light. Stay in your heart center. Don't worry about making money or just pay attention to being loving and of service, and all you need and desire will be easily there for you. There is an embrace happening as well right now, gathered around this planet, this great new birthing, and anticipating the lovely new being coming to you to join the collective galactic community. We are joyous indeed. When you're fully awakened, you will remain awake and aware of so much more than you are now. Share your insights, your awareness, your wisdom. That is your purpose. It's about helping others recognize their unlimited potential. Your heart always knows the way. Namaste. Thank you. You know, every single one of us here on this planet has our own purpose, our own unique gifts, talents. These things come from our heart center, and they are to be given freely. It's not about, like, your purpose here is not about what job am I supposed to be doing that I'm going to be happy with. No, that's a job to make money. But what if you were to just give of your own gifts and talents, to be of service to humanity? That's part of the great shift right now. I mean, we have spent many, many years trying to gain things for ourselves. How can I get a better job? How can I make more money? How can I have a better relationship? How can I have a bigger house? You know, how can I have a nicer car? And all this is about service to self. The great shift is when we recognize that when we have these beautiful gifts to offer, how do we contribute? How do we be of service to make humanity, make this planet a better place to be? That's really the key. When you act in service to others, then everything you need comes back to you. And part of it is, can you trust that? Do you trust the process? Do you trust that you have gifts and talents to offer? Do you trust that you will be provided with absolutely everything you need to live, grow, heal, and prosper? Do you trust your innate intelligence? Do you trust that divine energy, the insights, the impulses, the messages that we receive? So, and that's a really big key. That's part of this big shift. Our awareness is expanded. But at the same time, we also have to go within. All the answers do not come from outside of ourselves. You can't have a book or a friend or a teacher or the television or something tell you the answer. You have to go inside your heart. Go inside the center of your consciousness and go within and feel it. In one of the classes, the second webinar we do called Becoming 5D Beings, we learn how to go into the cave of Brahma, the seat of our consciousness, and how to expand that. So I want to tell you a little bit about some of the webinars that I'm working on creating right now, and I've done many of these in the past. It's really to assist people in understanding the process and to learn new tools and techniques to expand our conscious awareness. So one thing that I find is of utmost importance, if you only do this one thing, is to be able to stay in sacred neutral in your heart, in your awareness. Be neutral. Stop judging and putting limitations on anyone or anything. Allow yourself to go with the flow. Everything is changing so rapidly right now, and it's really funny. I can kind of laugh about it sometimes because, you know, I have a list of things I have to accomplish today, and then the whole day changes. It's like, nope, that's not what's important. This is what you have to do. And I'm like, okay, just go with the flow. Just allow what is unfolding. It's not about what we want to have happen. It's going with the flow of this great expansion. So stay in sacred neutral. Release any and all judgments, opinions, labels. Just observe and be aware. Start by observing yourself, like we talked about. Observe your physical body, your energy, your emotions, your mental body, and observe your soul. Learn to stay connected and aware with your higher self viewpoint, right? Keep your awareness connected to this infinite divine universe. It's totally non-judgmental at all times. Your higher self just observes. Relax into it. Allow what is. It's the natural flow that's unfolding. We can't stop this unfoldment. That would be exhausting. Imagine trying to push against the entire universe to stop it from expanding. Can't happen. But at the same time, we have to use our intention much more readily. We have to stay grounded. Connected to nature is important. We're so enthralled with all of our technologies. We have to balance it with nature. So in the webinars, I'm doing a whole series, and they're going to be individual webinars. You can do one at a time, or you can choose to do all of them. They will tend to build on each other, though. And it's called Becoming 5D Beings. So we're exploring how to stay grounded, how to use psychic protection, why that's important, how to feel into energy, how to feel into emotions, thoughts, places, people, situations, things. These are some of the secrets to deepening our intuition and connections, as well as releasing blocks, cords, traumas. So we're going to explore also, I love this part, using a number of beautiful sacred biogeometry techniques for healing and manifesting. I know when I started doing this, I know Claudia's taken some of my classes as well. My guides kept saying, okay, if you want to teach people how to become more fifth-dimensional beings, you need to teach them this, and this, and this. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is exciting. So we're going to explore a number of different techniques. We'll also explore our beliefs and how they operate, which ones are beneficial, which ones are not, which ones we're conscious of, and which ones are still in our subconscious or unconscious mind. And we'll talk about desires and resistances. Did you know that behind every single desire you have, there's a resistance to something else? And behind every resistance, there's a desire underneath it. How these things pull us off center. Oh, I really, really want this because I don't want to experience that. That's pulling us off center and out of alignment with our true self, which we are one with all that is, right? We'll explore things like quantum intuition. Quantum intuition. Vibrations and frequencies, what that means, universal energy fields, using self-observation. You know, I mean, there's so many things that we can be doing. And even the class that I did the last time was just amazing how people change and shift and feel. We do a little energy scan at first to scan how is our energy feeling, you know, how are our emotions and our thoughts feeling? And then once we go through the exercises, we scan again and notice any shifts. So the very first class I actually decided to put up for free, so you can get a feel for it. So I'll give you more information about that in just a minute. But I've also had a number of people ask me, especially some of my BioField clearing students, my practitioners, how do we channel more information from our angels, our guides, our star beings, the ascended masters, and more? And you know, it's not very hard. So we're going to build into that experience too. That'll be a few classes down. So you may want to explore more of this. We'll learn about the different layers and levels of our consciousness and how you can know at any time where you're at. Are you in kind of a lower level, like maybe just remembering the past? Or are you in a higher, more creative, intuitive mode? You know, there's many different levels. You can also determine where someone else is at in just noticing and how to shift them to a little bit of a higher state once you understand the different levels of the state. So our tendency is to just agree with people. Or, oh, you poor thing. Oh, you're suffering. I feel bad for you. You're having a challenge. Let me help you. You know, we do things like that. But you know what? That just keeps us limited, and it keeps them limited. The minute we do that, it's almost like saying to someone, oh, you poor thing, you're not source enough, but I am, so let me help you. You know? No, we are all powerful beings. We're all just inviting in, bringing in, and creating, whether we're aware of it or not, the experiences we have to go through in life in order for our soul to evolve and learn and grow and become more aligned with our true self. So you can really look at someone who's in their challenge or drama and say, wow, not that you would say this out loud when they're in the middle of a drama, but, you know, look at them and think, wow, you are a powerful, divine, creative being. I wonder how you're going to handle this. This is beautiful. You know, Our greatest challenges in life where we get our greatest gifts, once we turn them around and look at it from a number of different viewpoints, because we are truly multi-dimensional beings, right? I'm also going to teach a webinar on the 9 dimensions of healing. And I've done this many years ago as a keynote speaker for some conferences. So I will do that webinar again soon so we can understand the different 9 dimensions and what we utilize to heal in each dimension. To give you an example, allopathic medicine that we've been accustomed to, using chemicals and pharmaceuticals and stuff like that, is really a second dimensional state, or it comes from second dimension as well as some third. It's just about the physical body only. We're going to go into some of the higher states and explore that. We'll explore some of the meanings behind the organs, tissues, glands, how to use them, how they relate to our physical body, our emotional body, our mental body, and our soul body, how they're all connected. I'm also going to teach how to communicate with nature. Do you know that, yes, we have 5 physical senses, but we have 53 other senses besides our physical ones. And we share these with all of nature, just like we share sacred geometry with all of nature. It's really fascinating when you start opening up and being aware of all these different connections, because everything just keeps expanding. And I remember one thing Eckhart Tolle said a number of years ago when he wrote the book called The New Earth, right? And he said, for each person, when that awakening process starts and happens and you start to expand, there's no stopping it. Once you know, feel, experience, and understand something, you can't go back to not knowing it again. The expansion continues. It's amazing. So right now, there's so much more of our abilities that we can utilize. So I encourage you, if you're interested in this and exploring some more, I invite you to go to my website, which is awakenmywisdom.com, and watch for upcoming webinars. You may want to subscribe, because I'll do a newsletter, maybe 2 or 3 times a month, not excessively, just to let you know what's coming up. I'm making them very affordable for people. They're just $39. It's usually about a 2-hour class. And you also get unlimited replay as well as a PDF of every single class. So you can also, if you go to awakenmywisdom.com and just click on online classes and scroll down the page, and you're going to see where you can link to the first class for free and experience it. And then if you want to join, I have one coming up next week on the 19th, Wednesday evening, and we're going to explore sacred geometry, using it for healing. We're going to expand on some of the initial things that we just talked about, like the vertical power axis, and we're going to expand on some other tools too, and it really gets to be fun. So I also teach BioField clearing, and I do personal sessions with people. So BioField clearing is a really powerful technique that my guides kind of assisted me with, but it's really a compilation of all my life's work, and it's like, okay, this is what we need to do. And it's really developing charts and using some dowsing techniques and kinesiology. First, we connect with the guides, angels, higher self, and really experience or ask what it is a person needs to heal to eliminate. Some of the traumas and the trapped emotions and the cords and the fears and blocked energy, all that stuff. And we work with specific techniques and some ancient Egyptian healing tools to heal those things. So anyway, that's also a very powerful process for each individual. Or if people want to learn that process, again, on awakenmywisdom.com, you can click on BioField Clearing. There's more information there. So I want to ask here, I want to take a moment and ask Claudia if we have any questions or not at this time, or if I should continue.
Yeah, for everybody that is listening, if you are ready for a question, just press number 1. And no, I wanted to ask you, well, not to ask you, to comment. One of the things that I really enjoyed when I learned BioField clearing and many of the classes that you have, Jane, is that when I realized that many of the things that you are talking about, they felt alien to me at the beginning, because it was like, what is she talking about? But once I allowed myself to feel it and to start thinking or realizing that I had it, it was like a new world opened, and then many of the things that you feel and you're able to sense and to bring into your life is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad you had that experience, you know. Yeah, you did another series that I did, Developing Inner Mastery, but I'm changing it up a little bit, too, for this one, because the experiences are going to be much more, well, they're experiential, of course, but the more you experience them and just play with them, the more it becomes part of who you are and what you know. When you experience something fully, it's very different than if you just understand the concept in your head. That's just a concept, a knowingness, or not even a knowingness, but a concept, you know. But once you feel it, you experience it, you know it, it becomes part of you, you know. So we can keep building on our toolbox of consciousness tools, you know. And I've done this for about, well, over 32 years right now in some of my trainings. Which really kind of blew me away when I first started learning some of these things and exploring some techniques. And I've learned many different things over the years, so it's really kind of pulling in a compilation of tools as well as connecting more with and getting some insights from my guides. So,
And thank you. So we have Nuri, and she has a question for you.
Okay.
Can you hear us, Nuri?
Yes.
Yes, perfectly. I have been asking my innocence in me to guide me in my life from 1 month ago. I feel really peaceful, but I want to know if I can do something else so I have a better connection with my spiritual.
Yes, yes. Good. So one thing, I was kind of feeling into that while you were doing that, and you have, it's really one very specific angel that's really close by your side that's actually helping you a bit. So be aware that, first of all, every single one of us comes onto this planet with a minimum of 3. Sometimes they're saying now we have a minimum of 4 guides. Nobody comes in alone. So all we have to do is ask for assistance. So what I would encourage you to do is just start asking, talk to them, you know, as if they're your best friend, and, you know, take some time to go within, meditate, go within your heart, and feel, breathe, even go within the center of your consciousness, and speak to your guides, your angels, your higher self, and ask them what it is you would like to know, whatever it is. And what you may want to do is when you do some quiet time of meditation where we're just quieting the busy, active mind so we can actually listen. I encourage people sometimes to have a notebook. And this is sometimes what I do too, is if I really have a question I'm asking, I'll write down the question. And then just keep writing, you know, automatic writing. And they'll just start answering and it'll just start flowing. That's sometimes a way to make it more tangible to us because we can look at the written word, you know, instead of just hearing things and we start to go, was that really from my angels or did I just make that up? You know, we tend to do that, right? So, and even just ask them to be present with you, to come closer to you, to maybe be with you within maybe 3 feet of you so you can, or right in front of you so you can feel their presence. You know, and just when something happens that you need assistance with, you're confused about something or you're not sure what to do, stop and ask your team, your guides, to give you some insights, give you some information, and help you. Of course, they can't do anything to interfere because we have free will. But the minute you ask, they're very happy to help. You can go through 80 years of your life and never ask, and they can't do a thing. And people go, see, we don't have angels. But actually, just start communicating. and asking, and create a relationship with them. And they're very, very happy to assist when we do that. Does that help you, Nuri? Hopefully I answered some of that question for you. So we really we're connected to everything at all time, right? All that is what we're created from. So the only thing that separates us is energy. So just kind of reach out, feel the energy, you know. Sometimes people like to use crystals to maybe hold in your hands. They help us to ground because they come from underneath the earth. So they help us to center and ground. Sometimes we like to use beautiful music. Very high vibrational music can bring our frequency up. Essential oils can help bring our frequency up. I love using things like frankincense. It's a very, very high frequency essential oil. And so is ylang-ylang. Very, very high frequency. They're great for healing, but I also use them for spiritual purposes. Like I do this even just before my talk. Or when I teach or do anything, I'll put a drop of it, one on my crown chakra, one on my third eye, one on my throat, one on my heart center, and maybe a couple on palms of my hands, and breathe it in. And that will help raise your frequency as well. So that may be helpful.
It is. Thank you. Now we have one more caller, 828-452. Welcome to see you. Can I have your first name and where are you calling us from? Caller 828-452. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Hi. Can I have your first name and where are you calling us from?
This is Jacqueline from Waynesville, North Carolina.
Welcome, Jacqueline. So you have a question for Jane?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Jane, I have this ongoing pattern that has plagued my life for many, many years. I seem to be overcharged by workmen, and I don't know what to do about it. If I try to confront them about it, they get angry, and you know, I'm kind of fearful of what they might do to me. I don't, I live by myself, so I have anybody that can help me. I just don't know what to do, and it's frustrating. I know I should try to stay in my power and develop my masculine side, but there's always that fear of repercussions.
Well, what's going on here, and thanks for calling, Jacqueline, is, first of all, there's beliefs right there that, you know, people take advantage of me, you know, that things aren't fair, things aren't equal, whatever. I don't have enough power to fight them. I'm going to have repercussions if I do, if I come into my power. So all those things are something to really look at, and how to kind of clear them, you know, or shift them, or even coming to a new state of being, such as, no, nobody takes advantage of me because I am strong and powerful within myself, and I stand up for myself, and I know if somebody's telling the truth or not, you know, and of course times are changing and things are getting much more expensive, so we have to allow for all that craziness that's happening. But it is about exploring some of your own particular beliefs and limitations, because they just keep going if we don't look at them. Where does this come from? I know we're going to run out of time here, and I'm sorry about that. But you might even consider doing a BioField clearing session on that particular thing, because there might be a number of things that not only come from this particular lifetime, but even from your inherited family line or your ancestral patterns that you've been taken advantage of in previous times. And it's like, how do we stop that in this lifetime? So I hope that helps, Jacqueline. So.
And Jane, how can she call you or contact you for a BioField clearing session?
Yep, you can either go to, actually I'll give you my phone number is 828-777-JANE, which is 5263, 777-JANE. Or you can go to awakenmywisdom.com. My personal practice website is ultimatehealing.com. So feel free to go there and you can click on BioField Clearing. And if you tell me you listen to this radio show, I will give you $30 off your session. all right? For anybody that calls or wants to do a session, just tell me. You don't pay for it at the time. Tell me when we have the session, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. That's great. So just tell them that you listen on Seaview and you'll get your discount. So we are done with the time today, and I wish we could have more and more and more. But Jane, what is it that you want listeners to be left with until we have you back next year in January?
Well, if you're really drawn to, which I've always been drawn to, really expanding even further your abilities, your consciousness, and really deepen your connections and really get solid with it, I really encourage you to maybe connect and do some of the trainings because they're powerful little exercises that become part of you. That will, and even if you've done all kinds of spiritual work over the years or you're just starting, doesn't matter, because you explore your own consciousness and you will expand from the point that you're at right now. You'll go a little further and a little further and a little further, and it will really help your confidence and your power and your strength, your connection, I should say. So, feel free to join me if you're drawn to it. Thank you.
And thank you, Jane, for being here with us, and thank you, everybody, for listening. And Jane, thank you. I will be sending you that information. And again, thank you.
You're welcome. Just one more thing is the first class is free, so try it out if you'd like, okay? On Awaken My Wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.